Good morning, friends. In the last lecture, we studied about intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors. We saw that intrinsic semiconductors have very less charge carriers, which are generated due to thermal energy. So such intrinsic semiconductor is useless to be used for making electronic devices. So to use this intrinsic semiconductor for making electronic devices, they should have more conductivity. Also, we should have control on the conductivity of these intrinsic semiconductors. So extrinsic semiconductors are made by adding impurities into this intrinsic semiconductor. We know this process of adding impurity to this intrinsic semiconductor is called as doping. So by adding these impurities into this pure silicon crystal, either we can have a more number of electrons or more number of holes. According to that, there are two types of extrinsic semiconductor. One is N-type, where the electrons are more than holes, while other is P-type semiconductor, where holes are more than electrons. Therefore, to increase the number of electrons in this silicon crystal, a pentavalent atom is added into the silicon crystal. Now this diagram is showing you that this one p pentavalent atom like phosphorus is added into the silicon crystal. So while forming a crystal, this pentavalent atom is surrounded by this 4 silicon atoms. This pentavalent atom has 5 electrons in its valence side, while these all silicon atoms have 4 electrons in their valence side. So this out of 5 electrons of this phosphorus atom, 4 electrons will form covalent bond with this neighboring 4 Si atom, but 1 electron will be unoccupied. So this electron will have no binding of the nucleus of this phosphorus atom. So therefore this electron is a free, and as it is free, it has the liberty to move around the crystal. Generally these free electrons are available for conduction. Like this, if we add one pentavalent atom, it creates 1 electron. In the sense, this pentavalent atom is donating 1 free electron to this crystal. Therefore, such impurities are called as donor impurities. There are many pentavalent impurities like arsenic, antimony, phosphorus. We have used phosphorus over here. So therefore, this atom is called as, see, this impure atom is a donor atom because it is donating this free. So like this, if we add 1 lakh phosphorus atom to the crystal, then there will be 1 lakh more electrons than holes, because in intrinsic semiconductor always, anytime, number of holes and number of electrons are same. Means whenever electron transit from valence band to conduction band, it creates electron hole pair, because it creates a hole in valence band and 1 electron in conduction band. Therefore, number of electrons in conduction band and number of holes in valence bands are always equal. But now, as we have added this 1 lakh phosphorus atom, now this number of electrons are the electrons which are generated due to thermal energy plus this 1 lakh electron, meaning conduction band these 1 lakh electrons are extra. Therefore, such kind of semiconductor where electrons are majority carriers and holes are minority carriers is called as n-type semiconductor. Now similarly, we can have a p-type semiconductor. For making p-type semiconductor, that means to have excess number of holes than the thermally generated, we can add trivalent impurities like this aluminum, boron and gallium into this silicon crystal. Now in this figure you are seeing that this boron atom is added into the silicon crystal. Now in last orbit of boron atom there are only 3 electrons. Therefore, as shown in this figure, this boron atom, 3 electrons of this boron atom form covalent bond with 3 silicon atoms. See these 3. But since this upper Si atom does not get this electron, so it can't form covalent bond with this boron. So therefore there is a vacancy. In this vacancy, electron can come. In the sense, this vacancy can accept electron into it. Therefore, this added boron is creating a hole in the crystal. That's why such kind of impurities which create holes in a crystal is called as acceptor impurities. So there are many trivalent atoms like this aluminum, boron and gallium. We are using boron. Now as one atom of boron is creating one hole, if we add, say suppose 1 lakh boron atom, they will create 1 lakh holes. Now these holes will be in excess than the thermally generated holes. So therefore in p-type material, this number of holes will be greater than number of electrons. So in this case, holes will be majority carriers and electrons will be minority carriers. So such kind of semiconductor where holes are majority carriers and electrons are minority carriers is called as p-type semiconductor. So this is p-type and n-type semiconductor. Now see, a manufacturer can create a crystal like this where half part of the silicon crystal will be doped by trivalent impurities and half part of the crystal will be doped by n-type pentavalent impurities. So that half part will become p-type and half part will become n-type. So in this and such crystal is called as p-n junction diode. So this is a formation of p-n junction diode. How p-n junction diode is made. So in this diagram, this circled minus and plus. So this pair of plus and circled minus indicates a trivalent atom because p-type is generated by trivalent atom. So this trivalent atom, this plus indicates a hole with this trivalent atom. So every trivalent atom generates a hole. So these are the holes. And this n-type, this circle plus and minus, this indicates a pentavalent atom. This minus sign indicates electrons. So every pentavalent atom donates an electron to the n-type material. So this indicates a pentavalent atom. This and this indicates a trivalent atom. Now whenever such crystal is formed, the junction, this border where these two material meet, p-type material and n-type material, is called as junction. This is called as junction. That's why this whole structure is called as p-n junction. Now this PN junction. Why it is called as diode? Because this diode is a contraction of two electrodes, anode and cathode. So this P type is considered as positive electrode and this N type is considered as negative electrode. That's why there are two electrodes. That's why it is called as diode. Now whenever this junction is formed, because of the mutual repulsion of these electrons, since this in N type there are many electrons, because of the repulsion of these electrons, it will happen that one of the electron will come near the junction, because electrons are free to wander. They can move here and there in this N type. So whenever this electron will come near the junction, it will cross the junction and it will enter into the P type material. Now in this P type material, this electron will be minority carrier, because in P type number of holes are more. But very soon this electron will fall into one of the hole, because there are number of holes. This electron will fall any of the hole. Now when electron leaves this N type material, it creates this positive ion in this N type material. And as this electron fall into this hole also vanishes and it creates a negative ion in this P type material. In the sense, whenever electron transit from N type to P type material, both electron and holes, free electron and hole vanishes. So this now electron becomes valence electron in this P type. So every electron transiting from N type to P type is creating a pair of positive ion and negative ion. So negative ion towards P side and positive ion towards N type. So this pair of positive and negative ion is called as this positive ion and negative ion pair is called as dipole. So like this, whenever very soon this area, as electron will transit from this N type to P type, this area near the junction will only contain a positive and negative ion as shown in this figure. Now this figure is showing you that toward this N type material there are only positive ions, because electrons have transited from this and they have fall into the holes of this. So holes are also vanished and electrons are also vanished. So electrons are not vanished, actually they are fall into the holes now and they have become valence electrons. So this region is now a charge free or charge empty region. There are no charges over here. Only immobile fixed ions. Since these ions are bonded to nucleus, because of covalent bonding, these ions are fixed. They cannot move. They are immobile ions. So such region where there are only immobile ions and no charges is called as depletion region. So especially this depletion region is shown in this figure B. So this charge empty region is called as depletion zone, because in this region the charges are depleted. From this region charges are depleted. Depleted means charges are moved away from this region. To deplete means to move away. That's why this region is called as depletion region. So and this kind of device is called as PN junction diode, because it has two electrodes. Toward this P type, as number of holes are more, this is called as anode. Toward this N type, as number of electrons are more, this is called as cathode. So this is a PN junction diode. Now in the next lecture we will see how this PN junction diode can be given external bias. That means how we can connect external power supply to this diode, and we will see how it behaves. Thank you.